All right, we're talking about dividing perennials in the fall. We're into mid-September here now. Anywhere from September to early October here in Ohio is a good time. You really want to do it once the plant begins to die back a little. You want to give it enough time to kind of grow and develop some roots, not necessarily the top of the plant, but the roots in the soil so that they're ready to go next year. So I've already dug out over here a couple from around our property. We have some white swan coneflower. We also have some purple coneflower and some larope. But kind of what we do here, this is the front of our garden. We have daylilies and some more larope on down the line. One of the best ways to really keep your gardens and your flower beds weed free is to really pack them full of plants. So as you can see here, these plants are really full, especially the larope here. Really kind of fills in. The more you can transplant, the more you can add new plants, the more you're going to have weeds come out. So in the fall, when it gets like this is the great time. You're going to come up, a daylily like this right here, we're just going to come up to it. We're going to come around, we're going to come down, give it a couple pops, and it'll lift right from the soil. The big key here is you want to get all of the roots out that you can. And as you see, that popped out nice and easy. There's the daylily. We've got a nice set of roots underneath there. I'm going to take my shovel, go right down in front of it. If I wanted to, I could have two nice daylilies right there to transplant, that right beside. But that's a pretty big set of roots, so we're going to take them, we're going to split them again. And honestly, you can do as many as you want. As you can see right there, you have two nice sets of plants that we can put in, kind of fill in around here to make this thicker if we didn't have it that way. Or, as I'll show you in a few seconds, we'll put them in a holding bed for next year. That's what we do so that next year when we have areas of our beds that we need plants, they're ready to go. Okay, we're right outside of our garden here where we have a holding bed. We've kept this ever since we started our farm years back. Sometimes we had the holding bed in our garden rows at the end of the season, and sometimes we did them right here. We just create a little area where we can transplant all of our perennials in the fall so that they're ready next year. You see we have some that we did in the middle of this summer, some daylilies here, a few grasses from early spring. Grasses, by the way, are the one thing you do not want to transplant in the fall. You want to wait until spring, actually early spring, late winter to divide those up. So all we're going to do is we're going to take those starts of daylilies we had, we come into the holding bed here, and if you were going to put them in your garden, it would be the same thing. I'll pull back a little straw, I'll go down. Transplanting is so easy and so quick, and such a great way to save money on plants. You know, if I went to the store and bought a start like this next spring, it would be probably $10. So here I go, I put this in, I take that soil, I'll push it around, I'll water this down a little bit, and I'll mulch back, and there's my transplant. Same thing, got the coneflower here, I'm gonna come right beside it, and you can see when you have a holding bed like this, it doesn't matter where you put them. You just wanna put them in so that you have them next year. Since you're gonna develop roots over the winter, and by early spring, you can dig them back out wherever you need them to go, be a small plant, and you're ready to go. So finally, the last question is, should I cut this off? Should I allow it to go? For us, I will cut this back. I'll let this die off a few in a day, and I'll cut it down, and I'll cut the daylily back, and you'll have a little green growth in the fall, and that's great. You know, that means the roots are setting down below. You'll want to keep these watered every few days, nothing crazy, but next spring, you'll have a lot of transplants to go. Fill your beds, keep your beds weed free.